Warning, D.C. is a town full of monuments, but some of them hide in plain sight. This week's target, the Temperance Fountain on Indiana Avenue, a sculpture dedicated exclusively to killing your buzz.
Is one of the more unique of the monuments memorials under the National Park Service's care.
Built in 1882, this statue was a 3D anti-alcohol advertisement, a product of the temperance movement, which was basically the warm-up to Prohibition. To help with this drunk history lesson, I recruited a local expert with the National Park Service, Michael Litterst. Take it away, Mike.
So the idea is that if we provide fountains in America's cities with clean, maybe cold water, they'll be less inclined to drink beer and spirits.
And that's exactly what they tried here in Penn Quarter, an area with possibly the most sports bars in the district today.
The water supply in the nation's cities in the mid-19th century, was far from what it is today. It was muddy, it was gritty, there was no water testing for diseases.
Would that ever work?
No. Especially in these times, no.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. It wouldn't work.
The man behind the Temperance Fountain was a dentist named Henry Cogswell, who Mike tells me loved two things: not drinking and putting his name on stuff. They actually built several temperance fountains in major cities across the United States.
The one here in D.C. is noted by the intertwined fish. Water came out of the mouths of both the fish on the front and the back. There was a brass cup that was attached to it, so you didn't even need to bring, your own drinking vessel.
Even before this area was Penn Quarter, a store called Apex Liquor was open about 40 years between 1945 and the mid-'80s, right in the shadow of the four columns and the fountain's crane overlooking the courtyard. Did it work?
Apparently,
no. If we know one thing about humans, is that we like to get drunk. In every part of the world.
But it turns out the issue with the Temperance Fountain went way deeper than people just having a problem being told not to drink.
The New York Times has an article in 1897 that talks about how ugly most of these temperance fountains were and how in some cities the residents had stormed the fountains and torn them down.
There's even a rumor that the Commission of Fine Arts, which approves any new monument that goes up in the district, was formed back in the day as a result of how much people hated this fountain. And while I decided not to storm the fountain per se, I figured I'd stage my own protest in the name of freedom and cracking a cold one. What do you say we pop in now that we've learned all about temperance?
I'm thinking I'm going to follow the lead of Dr. Coswell and practice temperance on this one, but you go ahead and report back.
The rare occasion when your job actually calls for drinking. I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? The long journey to Penn Quarter Sports Tavern took me about 20 yards, 10 minutes, $9, and one crisp Miller Lite later, I was back. Party of one. Give me liberty or give me hops. They say you should never drink alone. I think that's why Penn Quarter's filled with pigeons. And after a couple sips... Wait! I started to see the beauty behind this weird little statue. So did my new friends.
Yeah, it just catch my attention. Yeah, because it's eye-catching.
Well, I took a couple of pictures. It was quite interesting.
It is a town of monuments, yes. The small ones will be overlooked, so yeah.
There are literally 100 other monuments and statues around the city that most people drive by 1,000 times and have no idea, who's that guy on the horse? And almost all of them have a fascinating backstory.
So cheers to new discoveries, new buddies, and...
cheers to temperance, right?
Yes.
Here we go.
I love your videos, man. Keep watching it.
Hey, appreciate you. In the jaws of temperance here in Penn Quarter, Matt Kaufax, WTOP News.